One of the main reasons why your kicks might just be buried and not cutting through the mix is a very simple solution. I'm going to go through it right here, and it's just setting your levels correctly while you're sampling into your MPC. For an example, I've talked about this before, but when I sample into the MPC, I like to set my input levels from -9 to -3 dB. Somewhere in between, as I know it's going to be fluctuating up and down, but anywhere in between -9 and -3 dB, it's a good input level for me because I know when I load up kicks, they're gonna cut through because they're probably gonna be louder than -3 to -6 dB. What I'm gonna do with you, I'm gonna sample this song right here, and I don't have no drums loaded up yet. I wanna just mainly focus on setting my input levels and just put the emphasis on that because everything else is gonna come through very simple if you got your level set correctly. And I'm going to listen. Before I hit record, I'm gonna listen to the section that I want to sample. And that section that I want to sample might be the chorus, might be the verse, might be the intro. So I gotta pay attention to that section I'm gonna sample first and make sure those levels are coming in correctly. So let's go ahead and do that. See, this is coming in pretty hot. I'm gonna lower it down.
Say hello, babe.
There you go.
I say hello.
All right, so as you can see, I'm just setting up my input levels right now, and I'm aiming, like I mentioned, between -9 and -3 dB. It gives me some headroom space, so when I do load up my kicks, they're gonna punch through the sample really, really good. So let's go ahead and record this. All right, so now that I have that sampled into the MPC, I'm gonna name this sample, hit do it, go to edit, and let's just go ahead and come up with a loop real quick. All right, so I went ahead and chopped some up real fast. I don't want to focus on a beat creation, but I'm going to go ahead and record something on a sequence. It's a 2-bar sequence, and I'm going to lay something down real quick. So now that I have something looping on the grid, what most of us are gonna do is start loading up samples or kicks, snares, and hi-hats. But what happens most of the times is if you are recording too loud into the MPC, when you start surfing through kicks, some of them might cut through, but most of them will probably just get buried within the sample and they just don't really stand out as we're putting our track together. In this case, since I set my sample not too hot, as I go right now, I'm gonna go ahead and hit play on my loop, and I'm gonna go to my browser, and I'm gonna go into my sample pack. You guys could be using any other sample pack, but in this case, I'm using my sample pack. I'm gonna go to my one shots, go to my kicks, make sure audition is turned on to auto, and as I start auditioning these kicks, we should hear these kicks just punch right through that sample, which is what I want. Oh, that sounds good. I'm gonna load that in. Ooh, that sounds really good too. Load that in. That sounds good. Awesome, so now that we're looping this and we just loaded up a few kicks right here, these kicks are cutting through the mix, mainly because these kicks are actually a lot louder than my sample. Now, one thing I want to get clear real fast is I'm not talking about in-depth mixing right now. We're just getting rough levels as we're producing the track. Obviously, later on, once we're finished with the production and we export the beat, if you want to mix in the MPC or you want to mix in your DAW, that's where you can actually start adjusting the levels, probably bring down the kick a little bit, and just do your actual mixing afterwards. But right now, as I'm producing, I want my inspiration to cut through. I want to be inspired, and when I'm putting my drums together, I want to feel that kick. I'm sure we all want to feel those kicks cutting through as we're putting this together. Now, the reason why I wanted to make this video is because there's no fancy plugins. You could add plugins. You could enhance what we already have right here. But the main heavy lifting that you want to do is when you're setting your levels and you're recording into your MPC versus the samples that you're loading up into your pads. That's the main thing I want us to take away from this video, and I hope this is helpful for you if you're just getting started with sampling into your MPC and then you're having difficulties with, man, why are my kicks not cutting through? Try this method out, and I guarantee you it's going to help make those kicks cut through a lot stronger. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch y'all on our next one. Peace.